Lanny, and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I own but I haven't read yet. This is probably going to be a lot of books and I'm probably going to be really uncomfortable with the numbers. But in 2016, I do plan on reading a lot of the books that I own. One thing that I have noticed is the TBR books that I do have, a lot of them are actually from Book Outlet. Because Book Outlet has outrageous shipping. When I first went on Book Outlet, I bought tons of books at one time so I could make the $7 shipping worth it. But the thing is, I wasn't really super interested in those books, so now I'm just stuck with a lot of books that I haven't read. On to the TBR books. This is gonna be such a bad number. The first book is from Book Outlet and it's The Eye of Mines by James Dashner. It was a signed copy and this was when I still thought that I kind of liked The Maze Runner. Now that I'm looking back at it, I'm not really sure if I like it. We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. The plot seemed kind of interesting to me. Juliet Immortal, Romeo Redeemed, and A Beast and Beauty, all by Stacey J. Hannah Loves Books actually read all three of these books and she said they were really quick reads. And while they weren't perfect, they were just cute to read. And I thought, okay, I can read a cute book. The Tales of Beetle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. My friend had 2 copies of this book, so she gave me one of those copies and I still need to read it. In the Afterlight and Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. I don't really know if I really like Alexandra Bracken's writing, but I know that in the beginning of a lot of her books, her writing is really slow. So I haven't really been able to get into the books. Clockwork Princess, City of Heavenly Fire, and City of Lost Souls. I don't really like Cassandra Clare's books that much. Dreams of Gods and Monsters. I read 1/4 of the book and then realized just how big this book is. The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. I had read The Fifth Wave a year before I picked up this book, but then I realized I didn't really like The Fifth Wave anyway, so I had only bought this book because it was a new release. Half Bad by Sally Green. I'm about 1/5 of the way through it and there are more interesting books to read right now. P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. I went to a Jenny Han author signing and I thought I needed the latest book that she had written so I could get it autographed, but it turns out she can autograph her first book also, so I just have this book. The Well of Ascension and The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. I read the first book, but I'm too emotionally exhausted from the first book to pick up the second and third. Where She Went by Gail Foreman. I had read If I Stay and then I found this one on Book Outlet, so it was really cheap. Let Us Know by John Green, Morgan Johnson, and Lauren Meyer. Nicole Vidal. This was when John Green was like super popular and everyone was buying his books, so of course I had to pick up every single John Green book that I found, even though I don't really like his books that much. Shadowkiss and Frostbitten, both by Rochelle Mead. I read the first book in the Vampire Academy series and I enjoyed it, but there are just better books to read right now. Looking for Alaska and Paper Towns, both by John Green. I love John Green as a person and I love watching his vlogs, but I honestly don't really like his writing style because I've started both these books, but I have no interest in completing them. Of Neptune by Anna Banks. This is the 3rd book in a trilogy, and I really enjoyed the first book of Poseidon, but the second book was just a real big disappointment, so I haven't really had the interest in picking up the 3rd book. These books actually have dust because I haven't picked them up. Point of Retreat by Colleen Hoover. This is the 2nd book in a duology, and I think the first book is Slam, but I haven't been able to read Slam, so I can't really read this one. Lockdown by Alexander Gordon Smith. This is one of the first books I bought after finding Book Outlet, and I was so intrigued with the website, so I just bought a lot of books that seemed kind of interesting, but really, no. Warm Bodies by Isaac Newton. Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. This was also on Book Outlet and I was interested in watching the movie, so I was just like, oh, let's get the book too. Lux Oppositions by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I haven't read the 2nd book of the Lux series yet, and this is the 3rd. I don't know if I do want to read the 2nd book though, because the Lux trilogy really does follow this whole clumsy girl with an attractive, super out of her league guy main characters trope. Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac by Gabriel Zevin. Ariel Bissett had mentioned this in a video and then I found it on Book Outlet, so it seemed interesting. The Night Circus by Aaron Morgenstern. Booksplosion was doing this for the book of the month and it seemed really interesting, but then as I read to like the middle of it, it was very slow and I wasn't really sure where the story was going. And finally, Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes and Percy Jackson's Greek Gods, both by Rick Riordan. Because they were Percy Jackson, I had to buy the books, but both of them are such huge books to read and they really are a hassle and I haven't really found an interest in reading them. So that comes to a total of 32 TBR books. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do. I haven't been buying as much books in 2016 as I did in 2015, so hopefully it'll stay like this and I'll lower my TBR pile before buying new books. But thank you so much for watching.